balls.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this AFC South show 156 here on Curtis Podcast Network. I'm the host of the channel. My name is Curtis Brown. And with me, as always, my resident Colts fan and my resident Jags fan, Isaiah, a.k.a. Duval's finest, holding it down on third and teal over there. Isaiah, how you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty hairy. Just hanging out. Hoping for a good game this weekend. I'll be there with Trevor and watching. I got my buddy from high school is gonna be going with me, and come say hey at the game. If you're watching and you're a Jags fan, like 90% of our viewership, come out and watch and say hey, give me a high five, touch my ass, do something.
Okay.
Good game. You know, like the after the
it sounded like
it's a weird night.
Sexual assault. Down here at the bottom,
John Weinstein will be there. So
and Jeff Steckel, aka Big Steck, aka Teddy Roosevelt's nephew. What's up, Big Steck? How's it going over there on Unstabled? What's cracking?
Oh, pretty good. We've gotten a few more subscribers since our episode last week. We're up to 52. So just trying to keep growing. We keep making a bunch of content. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. Head on over there after you do that here. And we also do a little bit of fantasy football. So we're incorporating that in. So even if you're not a Colts fan, we do hit on fantasy. So we got something for everybody.
All right. And I'm the host of That Real Texas Team podcast, Texans podcast. You can go check us out, covering all the things Houston related. Hit the notification bell. Here on Curtis Podcast Network, we're at 484, I believe, at the time of this recording. Like to see that number keep pumping up. Like to see 500 be, the next pretty feasible goal. Let's hit 10 likes on this video, maybe 15. 15 likes. And a quick shout out to Titans Takeaways. Couldn't get anybody this evening. Everybody was very, very occupied.
I wouldn't want to talk about that team either.
We'll do our best to chip in and talk about the Titans. And
we'll try to be unbiased.
We'll try. We'll talk about them first, just to go ahead and get that out of the way.
Damn, I got a hole in my. Never mind. We're good. I did not notice that until I just sat down.
You having a nip slip?
Got a breeze on my balls right now. This is great.
Hell yeah. Well, in that same vein, let's talk about injuries then. Who's in danger of missing the game? I know it's Wednesday night. We have a couple more days of practice left, but who didn't participate today? I know for the Texans, Dalton Schultz and MJ Stewart were the only two people who did not participate. The Bears didn't have Keenan Allen or Rome Odunze participate at practice. So as well as like a list of probably about 7 other names of starters. And I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. If Dalton Schultz doesn't go, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Cade Stover to showcase that he can be more than just a run blocking guy. But if you guys did notice last week, when Cade Stover was in the game, Joe Mixon had his best runs. Cade Stover is not afraid to put a licking on somebody. No homo.
Shout out to Cade Stover, by the way. Yesterday was National TV Dinner Day, so old Stover boy, good for him.
Nice. What a reference. What a reference.
Yeah. Stover's TV dinners.
Stofers?
I know. You just need to roll with it and act like
I was rolling. It rolled. Jeff, what injuries do we have up in Indianapolis this week?
I mean, it's not good. Pretty much.
Well, it's not good.
Outside of Kenny Moore, there's really no one in the secondary. Juju Brents went on injured reserve. Might be back like December, probably not. And he, outside of Kenny Moore, like I said, he was really the only person in the secondary. And this just kind of emphasizes Chris Ballard's failure to address the secondary. Safety, they're starting Nick Cross, who might be practice squad on most other teams. I think he looked like shit against the Texans. Then again, a lot of the defense looked like shit. But either way, they called up Chris Lamons. It's just a lateral move. They didn't dive into free agency or anything, so it's not looking pretty in the secondary. DeForest Buckner with his back didn't practice. Josh Downs did limited. They're saying Matt Gay was a full go. Kwity Paye and Julian Blackmon both didn't participate. So the defense after one game is already banged up. But I feel like Blackmon, Paye, and Buckner will be fine though. So it's more of just kind of that veteran. I would assume it's more of a veteran chill day. So
was Harrison on the practice squad, or did you guys sign him?
I think he got signed to the practice squad.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think he got signed to the active roster. I think it was just Lamons that got moved up to.
Shout out Ronnie the Garbage Man Harrison. Yeah. About all he's good for.
He can stay
there. Yeah.
Houston activated Rashad Weaver, former Titan, to the active roster. I think he's probably about 270, if I'm not mistaken. They have him at 259, which is interesting. But I think he'll be kind of used as a backup to Mario Edwards Jr. until Danico Autry gets back.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be. So Cam Robinson was limited with a knee injury. Very, very normal for him. He'll probably be out by week 7 if I had to guess. Daniel Thomas, Achilles, was limited again this week. Tyson Campbell did not participate. They did ask him in a press conference. Doug Peterson, they asked him, I should say, if Campbell is a injury report, injured reserve candidate. And he said that there is a chance that he is. They're still evaluating that, but that he will miss multiple weeks with a hamstring injury from week 1, a similar issue that plagued him last year and the year before. And for the Browns, though, they are missing some boys. David Njoku will not play. Jedrick Willis did not participate. Miles Harden did not participate. Joel Bitonio was limited. Jack Conklin was limited. Denzel Ward was full. The Joker was full. Harris was full. Judy was full. Alex Wright was limited. They had a couple other guys get moved to the IR. Who I don't have that in front of me, but I think one of their safeties was moved to the IR. Somebody else. But yeah, not looking good for Cleveland.
Yeah, nor their starting quarterback with those new allegations coming out.
Yeah, so there's a chance he won't play he probably will, but there's a chance he will not play on Sunday.
Yeah. Very likely. I'm pulling up the Titans stuff right now.
Well, I guess I didn't do the Packers. I guess for the Packers, their really only notable one, I guess, is Jordan Love, probably out a few weeks. The coach is saying it's still up in the air that he could play this weekend.
He's not playing.
He's not
playing. Yeah, if he wants to never play football again, sure, put him out there. But
yeah, just do the Washington, RG3 experiment with him.
Literally.
Looks like Jamal Adams, who didn't play last week, was a full participant in practice today. Dylan Radins, who left early, was a full participant, and Otis Reese, who also missed last week with a concussion, was a full participant today. Let's see, for the Jets, everybody who's on the injury report is not injured enough to not participate. Javon Kinlaw did not participate, but it says non-injury related. Michael Carter limited, DJ Reed limited, Michael Clemens full participant, Mike Williams full participant. So in theory, we're probably looking at a full-powered Jets team taking on a Titans team that's also full-powered for the first time. So
another garbage bowl.
Yes. Another defense versus defense game, I think, more than anything. Okay, well, let's go ahead and dive into the Titans thing real quick. So the Jets coming to Nashville, and we're trying to figure out two things. One, is Will Levis really this bad? Can the hero ball be taken out of him, and can he learn to be the, accept when a play is over and not try to flip a pass for a pick six. And we're also trying to figure out which version of Aaron Rodgers are we actually looking at. Are we looking at the old Aaron Rodgers? Are we looking at an old Aaron Rodgers?
He's more cooked than a twice-baked potato at this point, dude. I don't care what anybody says.
I mean, he definitely didn't look great last week, but this is a different team, different day, and the last couple times the Jets have played the Titans have not looked so hot. So, what are you guys feeling? I do have the Titans rep his game prediction, which is kind of surprising, I think.
I don't think so if it's coming from a Titans fan.
What do you guys think? I'm going to pull up the over-under real quick, I guess. But how are we feeling Jets Titans?
Let's see. Hold on, let me look at the Jets game. They played the 49ers, right?
Correct.
Yep.
And got annihilated.
Yep.
32-19.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not annihilated, but it was
the over-under here is the Jets are favored by 3.5. The total points is 40.5.
Really?
Yeah.
How are the Jets only favored by 3.5? There ain't no way that Titans are scoring that many points.
Yeah, and the Titans are not the team that the 49ers are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we can't really draw any conclusions from whatever version of Rodgers we see during the Titans game. Because, they were bragging about how they were they were the number one defense. But if you look at all the charts, they're nowhere to be found. So I don't know what that was all about. Maybe whenever a quarterback is really inaccurate and only throws for 93 yards because they're terrible and not because your team was good, that might have something to do with it. But yeah, we'll see if Levis can clean it up. I don't know that he can. I think he's in too deep, and I think they've empowered him too much with this passing offense. And I think that he is feeling himself a little too much. Now, he might be able to clean that up and get it under control. But I think if I know who Will Levis is, like I think I do, I don't see him cleaning it up, honestly. I think he's going to continue to try and push balls down the field that he shouldn't. And Hopkins is probably taking another step back like he did last year. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Austin from Titans Takeaways said that the Titans will win. Or no, I'm sorry. The Jets will win 24-17. Just like this week or with the Bears. But maybe not in the same fashion.
That would be hilarious if it was. They're like shutting him out all game, and then they just, Will Levis throws 5 pick sixes and gets down on his knees and puts his hands behind his head and gets ready to accept it. Literally the gesture of surrender.
Literally.
One of the great that will go down as one of like the biggest failure pictures of all time.
It'll become a meme in no time. Yeah. Just immediately,
It already is.
He did it. He was like, "Why am I so stupid?" God, if I had to put a fucking score on,
if I was a betting man, and I am, no,
I'm gonna say the Jets win this game. 20. It's gonna be weird. 23-10. That's
interesting.
under. 23-10. I think the Titans will struggle to get the ball into the end zone. So they'll kick 1 field goal, and the Titans defense will score a touchdown.
Interesting.
Yeah. But other than that, I think the Jets are going to be able to do just slightly enough to win the game. And it'll be 23, so like 2 or 3 field goals and two touchdowns. 3 field goals.
Thinking like 35-13. Jets win.
35-13.
I just have absolutely zero faith in this Titans team, and I think the speed that they pose, like the speed they have, and the lack of secondary that the Titans have, I think they'll have zero problems getting rid of the Titans.
Yeah, they have a lot of really good pass rush and run defenders for the Jets. If CJ Mosley, I think he left the game at some point during the 49ers. If he's healthy, he's still playing at an elite level. He just doesn't get any praise because everybody on that Jets defense is good, and he's kind of overshadowed by that. But Jeff,
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna steal his 13 score for the Titans and say the Jets do 28.
That was my initial, but I was like, nah, fuck the Titans.
So I'll go over, but
not too over,
not that far over.
Yeah, I'm the only one who went under. So we'll see how that works out for me in the long run. So let's kind of step back here and say, what are the ways to win for the Titans? Is there a clear path to victory?
Yeah,
If there is, to me, it's probably a healthy dose of the running game, which the 49ers...
Hand it off to hit.
I was just about to say trade for Henry and start.
Well, I mean, Pollard had a solid game.
Against the Bears.
Yeah, but the Bears defense isn't awful.
Okay.
They're not awful.
I mean, there's a reason that they got the first overall pick last year. And it wasn't because they were stopping people on defense.
Yeah, but it was also probably because their quarterbacks sucked ass.
I mean, when you bring in another guy and immediately put millions of dollars around him in pieces on the offense, something you wouldn't do for the last guy you drafted at 2 overall or 3 or wherever he was drafted.
11.
That's probably something that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Guarantee you Justin Fields is successful with the Steelers.
We'll see. They didn't score a touchdown last week.
And they're also the Steelers and have what-it's-his-face calling plays.
Yeah. They also have Chris Boswell, who's just nailing 6 field goals.
Yeah.
And then their defense.
Shout out Chris Boswell.
Shout out Chris Boswell. Yeah. Literally. Okay. Well, look. To me, they gotta run the ball, and Will Levis just does not have to. Just don't sell the game. Just manage it. Carry Collins the fuck out of this game. Get your confidence back, and then pick your battles. Not every play you have to get a dub. Sometimes
Will Levis is kind of like a mayonnaise salesman. You go door to door, it's probably going to get kind of hot, and no one's going to want it.
True. He actually did a Mayo commercial. It was kind of funny, actually.
Didn't they do like a bust of him and Mayo or something?
No, I mean, like he did a whole thing, like yoga thing with Mayo, and it was pretty funny.
No, so I'm pretty sure there's also one that there's like a straight up bust of him made of Mayo.
Oh, I'm sure.
I wouldn't doubt that. Somebody probably made that for fun.
The Duke of Dukes. The man of Mayo.
Mayo man.
The Titan of toppings.
Had a perfume come out.
Did he? Is it mayonnaise?
A cologne, I should say.
Is it mayonnaise smelling?
I don't know, but it was called Number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah. And everybody.
You ever thought about smelling like something sour? Get you some Number 8 mayonnaise flavored cologne. Do you want to suck like Will Levis?
Smell like Will Levis?
Give up and put your hands behind your head like Will Levis.
Jesus. Yeah. But the defense has to just make Aaron Rodgers look old. If the defense can do that, which they have Travondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons, who are collectively almost 700 pounds, holding it down in the middle.
Baddies.
Just some big boys. So if those guys can create some internal pressure, because they got what's his nuts? Elijah Vera Tucker at left guard, and he's not very good. If I'm the Titans defensive line, I'm focusing on that man. And then Harold Landry had a pretty solid game last week. So hopefully the Titans can get that done. But realistically, no, it's not going to happen, in my opinion. Let's shift here to ways to win. Jeff, we'll let you go first.
We're still talking about the Titans.
No, Jeff.
Okay, thank goodness. I didn't see any
something at least halfway decent. All right.
ways to win. What I want to see is, I mean, the big plays were nice, but the Colts were very much boom or bust. There's a reason they had 9 completions, 19 attempts, over 200 yards, and I think they had a little over 100 yards on the ground, but Taylor had 48 of them. So they're going to have to. What I really want to see is more like how they opened that preseason opener against Cincinnati. Those quick hitters, quick, rhythm plays, rhythm passes. It really, like, that was a really good drive. Like, he went 7 of 8, touchdown. Like, that's more what you want to see. I didn't see a lot of that against the Texans at all. I didn't see any passes designed to Taylor. So it's just a very kind of boring offense outside of, the plays that Richardson kind of pulled out of his ass. So I don't know why you're giving me that face.
Did you just say he went 7 of 8 on one drive?
Yeah, against the Bengals. In preseason.
I'm sorry. I was zoned out for that part. I heard 7 of 8. I'm like, this man completed 9 passes. He only completed 2 passes.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Bengals.
Okay, sorry.
No. So that opening drive against the Bengals is more of what I want to see kind of coming out. They need to establish that rhythm, and just they need to maintain the clock. And on defense, I don't have any faith in the secondary. Gus Bradley didn't change anything like schematically against the Texans. I hope he got a chewing out or something, because at what point, especially on that last drive, Joe Mixon still ripped off an 8-yard rush to end the game. It's like, at what point do you sell out on the run? And like, look, if they pass it, fuck it. We got beat. So at what point do you make this adjustment and realize, dude, my secondary is terrible. The strength of this defense is up in the front. Having these linebackers sit back in coverage, it ain't working. These safeties, they can't cover. Nick Cross isn't very good. He showed that against the Texans. Now, granted, the Texans wide receivers are probably better than what the Packers have, but still, I mean, on paper, this is a game where the Colts could easily take over, not look back. But they've also made quarterbacks like Malik Willis look really good. So I feel like that they need to make Malik Willis be a quarterback and pass the ball. If they're going to bring 4 and sit back, he's going to be able to do it. Sure, they'll probably get a few sacks, rough him up a play here and there, but if he has any kind of time, they can make him look like Joe Montana, and they've done it before to less than average quarterbacks. So I feel like most plays they need to be bringing 5 or 6, make him throw it, make him beat him. And I think if they do that, then they should easily kind of walk away with this game.
I think you give Malik Willis too much credit. He's walking into a new system after flunking out at his previous destination.
Outplaying Will Levis. Let's be clear.
Well,
he did. He outperformed Will Levis not only last year, but this year too, and they still got rid of him because they want to commit to the Mayo guy.
Malik Willis is not necessarily what I would consider a complete or anywhere near complete quarterback.
That's the worst part.
But like,
that's the worst part.
That was a slam on Levis, not on.
You're saying the quiet part out loud.
Right. I'm not defending Will Levis though. If anything, my direct comparison was like Anthony Richardson.
I don't know if you're going for a burn or like a shock reel or what, but
keep going.
All right.
Go ahead. Do the comparison.
All right.
I mean, realistically, they're just guys who can throw the ball a country mile and or run real fast.
Okay. I agree.
Both played one season realistically of SEC football. Kind of.
Huh? Malik Willis played for like some small school.
He initially went to Auburn and then transferred to Liberty.
Yeah, I see what you mean by essentially now.
Yeah. Look, I don't have any faith that Malik Willis is able to be in this locker room for 3 weeks and have any sort of firm grasp on this system. That being said, I think what's his bucket, the coach up there in Green Bay, I think he is capable of crafting something that Malik is capable of grasping pretty quickly. But the chances of the Titans not being able to figure that out, the Colts, sorry. They'll play later. I think it's next week. The chances that the Colts don't figure that out pretty quickly, and just you don't have to rush a bunch to fluster him. People would send 4 rushers at Malik Willis, and he'd just like that's what happened when he came in for Jordan Love last week. He had 2 plays to throw the ball deep to the end zone. Homie threw it the first play just directly out of bounds. Second play, held the ball too long, got a sack. They rushed 4.
I'm saying you're severely underestimating the Colts' abilities. Now they have taken over games. I think that they will. It's games like this that just they make me nervous. Like there are times where they've let quarterbacks just sit there all day and get comfortable and have a career day. They've done it.
Well, a career day for Malik Willis is like 100 yards.
It's like 50 yards.
Yeah.
And the Colts have struggled historically against mobile quarterbacks too. Like even when the Colts won that game against Baltimore, Lamar Jackson still ripped them for a few big rushes, like a couple of rushing touchdowns. So I think the Colts will win. It's just this game makes me nervous is all. I don't want to see that shit talking group in another the Colts loss. I might just back out of it. I don't want to read
it. Here's the deal. To me, the Colts can win if they stop the running game because they got Josh Jacobs and they've got their backup is a new young guy because A.J. Dillon's hurt. They've got some pretty decent pieces in that backfield. They're going to rely on those guys heavy in the quick passing game. All you guys have to do is run like some press coverage for a little bit, a little bump and run a little bit, little man.
Yeah, he does.
And you're going to be fucking some people up in this game because Malik Willis doesn't know what any of those things mean.
Gus Bradley doesn't do that.
I understand this, but he'll make the adjustment because, well, he probably won't have to because Malik Willis really can't do much of any of that.
What makes me the most nervous, I mean, I know I mentioned Malik Willis, but it's Josh Jacobs, the run game, and just what the Texans did with Mixon. I hope they adjust.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
That's why I think that's a crucial part for them, like to get this win, because they're going to rely on the running game to get Malik Willis through. The game, Malik Willis almost beat the Chiefs in relief of Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry ran wild that game.
Yeah.
Malik Willis didn't do crap.
Sure.
So they're going to have to follow that same blueprint. You stop the running game, you stop the Packers this week.
Yeah.
Jordan Love plays, you just literally Love tap his knee, and it's over with. And then you're back with Malik Willis, and then it's over with anyway. So, Jeff, Isaiah, what are you thinking? What do you think about this game?
I'll be honest. I don't really care who wins this one. I really want to see Malik Willis absolutely destroy the Titans next week. But I think that the Colts can win this game. I think Jeff very much has the right idea that the Colts have consistently in the past allowed quarterbacks that probably should not beat them, or at least play well enough to beat them. And I think the fact that they've got some injuries does not help either because that secondary is already pretty bad. So I think that you're kind of pairing an already bad secondary with potential mobility. I went to college. I didn't graduate though, so can't. Anyways, so yeah, so it's like I don't know. It's just this feels like a trap game for the Colts, and the Packers are gonna Packer. I think they're gonna run pretty decent. Malik Willis probably won't have to do too much dialing it up downfield. They're probably going to try and make the game plan super easy for him. But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to watch. I could really see this one going either way. I don't feel particularly strongly about either team at this point in time. I think that if the Colts lose the game, though, it's going to be because Anthony Richardson is not consistent and accurate. He had accuracy issues at Florida. He had the big playability at Florida. I've watched him for a couple of years. I think he'll be fine. But I think if they do lose the game, it'll be due to his inaccuracies and not being able to win the game when it matters.
I mean, I'll agree with that and kind of piggyback on it. And if you look at the Texans game, if he completes 2 more passes, they probably win that game. I mean, if he
and a couple of them were easy connections too, know,
like that touchdown pass. I mean, that's a throw that any quarterback makes. Like that, he was wide open to the end zone. He had his guy beat. That was it, and he just overshot it. Probably got a little like what is it called? Adrenaline.
Gun shy.
Like, he's open.
Yeah.
And he just kind of
got a little too high on that one. Yeah.
But then he made that throw with pressure in his face, and it was a beautiful, beautiful bomb, 60, 65 air yards. I mean, you got to take the bad with the good with him, I guess.
Yeah. I've said it a bunch, feast or famine. That's what Anthony Richardson is. The over-under on this, the Colts are favored by 3. Over-under is 40.5.
I can see that.
Hit me with your score prediction, Jeffrey.
I'm going to go with what I said on Unstable, and I didn't mention it, but I have it coming out tomorrow afternoon. I'm doing another noon drop. I think I said on that one, and I'll go with it here. I said 34-17 Colts.
Okay. Big win.
Yeah, they need it.
They need it. I don't think they're going to get it, but be a good confidence booster for those young guys.
Okay. Isaiah, what are you thinking?
I think the Packers take this one 24-21. I think it'll be another close game, unfortunately, for the Colts. I think that the experience of the Green Bay defense, they make adjustments. And I feel like they're going to make better adjustments than the Colts will, because we know that Gus Bradley will make no adjustments. And I just feel like, they match up a little better against the Colts than the Colts do against them. But I can see this game, honestly, like I said earlier, going either way. I don't think either team is going to blow the other team out.
Okay. Let's see. I'm kind of feeling that the Colts win this game.
Okay.
I feel like it has to happen in the way that I described. The run game for the Packers has been thwarted, and the Colts are able to just not necessarily have their way with the Packers defense, but just get enough done. I'm going to go under on this as well. 21-17 Indianapolis. Just makes the most sense in my opinion. And, I just have no faith in Malik Willis. I think one of those touchdowns is probably a defensive touchdown because Anthony Richardson or something, but we'll see. Isaiah, let's talk about the Jags-Browns game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jacksonville, we're going to be at home for this one. It's going to be hot. Actually, it's going to be hot. It's not going to be as hot as it normally is this time of year. Thank God. I think it's going to be, I want to say it's going to be an easy win for Jacksonville. But at the same time, that defense is so good, it's hard to really give us an easy win on that one. I think the Browns offense is very inefficient. I think Nick Chubb has lost a step, having multiple injuries in a row that's led him to this. I know Jerome Ford took a good bit of reps and had some good points last week, at least fantasy wise. But I mean, with Deshaun Weinstein at the helm, I don't have any faith in the Browns whatsoever. I think that Trevor Lawrence is looking for a good bounce back game. I could easily see him going over 300 yards in this game, even against a good secondary such as the Browns, mainly because they do have some injuries. I think that JOK is probably going to be focused on Evan Ingram a good portion of the night. And I think Ingram's going to get the best of him once or twice because he is kind of that size speed combo similar to Ingram, where he's not like a huge stuff you'll run linebacker, but he can run really well and cover people. So I think there's a good chance him in the slot corner will be switching off on Ingram a little bit. But I think that Trevor's going to have a good night in this one. Honestly, I think the one thing we're not really talking about that people aren't willing to admit, I think that the offensive line had a way better night on against the Dolphins than we want to admit, and definitely a way better night than the previous year. I think they were actually moving some people. Apparently, Mitch Morse and Brandon Sheriff had 0 pressures allowed for that game. The two of them, which is nice to see. It doesn't feel like Sheriff is shackled to the other guy that nobody cares about anymore, Fortner. That's the one. The offensive line played pretty good. I will say that Anton Harrison allowed a little bit more pressure than I'd like to see, but he's still really young. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a pretty good game for this one. I think that we're probably going to see, unless Doug Peterson's just being stubborn or ETN starts to kind of light it up a little bit, I think there's a good chance we see Bigsby with like 15 to 18 carries and ETN at 10 or under. But I think that ETN will get 5 or 6 swing passes or little screens or something. But yeah, I think overall we're going to win this game pretty handily, and I could see it being a big game for us. And I think we're also a little sour from last year whenever Joe Flacco came in and they killed us from our terrible defense. I'm going to go probably way over. I'm going to say Jacksonville wins this one 42-17.
Jesus.
I think that Doug Peterson and I think Doug Peterson specifically is really pissed off with how our offense has been playing because that's his baby. I think that Jacksonville has all the firepower in the world on defense to stop a very underwhelming offense from the Browns. Yeah, I think Jacksonville takes this game handily.
Jeff?
I don't know. I think this is another game that could go either way. I have not a lot of faith in Deshaun Watson, but I really like Cleveland's defense. This is another tough one. It was a tough one for Jacksonville and Miami, and I was close on that one. I had Miami winning. I keep flip flopping. Like I think Jacksonville might pull it out. Cleveland. I think in the little scroller at the bottom, I think I said the Browns. So I'll go ahead and keep it that way. I'll keep it that way because I kind of like, well, they might win, 28-20, Jacksonville, but I don't know. That Cleveland defense is really good.
Like in case Deshaun Watson is not good to go on Sunday, I think he will be. But with his new case, there is a chance he will not be able to play. Who is their backup? Is it still the young kid that got hurt last year?
Jameis Winston.
Oh, it's Winston. Oh.
I'd be a little more nervous about Winston.
The problem is he might throw 3 touchdowns, but he's going to throw 3 or 4 interceptions too. So,
yeah.
I will say, and I should have prefaced this, I do think that one of our touchdowns at least will come from either special teams or defense. I think there's a very real chance we have a special teams or a defensive touchdown, especially if Weinstein is at the helm, because he's going to throw an interception or fumble the ball because Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen are going to eat his lunch.
Yes.
I
also have no faith in Deshaun Weinstein or the Browns to get anything done in the absence of Nick Chubb.
I almost smirked when you said it, but I said it with a straight face like 3 times. I don't know why.
It just seems like he can't, like whatever mojo he had in Houston is so far gone at this point that he can't get anywhere close to that. His last year in Houston was by far his best year, and he hasn't been able to do anything. Now, maybe it's because he's a little bit more worried about doing some extracurriculars.
He's wasted his mojo in the massage parlor.
Exactly.
That was the Tiger Woods effect. He's not getting any anymore, so his play just.
Yeah. Well, maybe. No, but well, I guess apparently not, based on this new allegation. But
I guess.
Look, the Jags should win this game. In all reality, I chose them to win. I think they're going to win. They should win this game. It will be a defense special teams touchdown at some point. If I had to guess, it would probably be I could see a punt return. I think Deshaun, if he plays, will end up fumbling like inside the 10, and you guys will just fall on it. But the punt return seems more likely. The over-under on this, 44.5. Jaguars are favored by 3, by the way.
Surprised we're favored.
I'm thinking Jacksonville wins.
We're never favored. We're definitely losing this game.
27-12.
27-12. Okay.
Yeah, we're going weird with it. That's also under. Jeff, what was your score?
I had said it. I was thinking about it. I think it's a really close one, just like they had with Miami. I'm going to say that they win it again on a last field goal, and it's 24-23.
24-23.
Yeah,
Jacksonville?
for the Browns.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not changing that.
It's on the scroller.
He made his bed. He's sleeping in it.
Yeah.
I respect it. The line for the Texans is also 44.5, and the Texans are favored by 3.5 over the Bears. Oh, sorry, 6.5 over the Bears.
About to say, ain't no way.
I have this game going under at 24-7. I have absolutely no faith that Caleb Williams will be able to score a touchdown in this game, despite the fact that Jeff Okudah, who played a total of 5 snaps, got hurt and was put on IR. So I think that with the combination of the ability to stop the run that we sold out for last week, we'll be able to stop the run with DeAndre Swift. And I think we'll be able to put enough pressure on Caleb Williams with Danielle Hunter, Mario Edwards Jr., and Will Anderson to rattle his cage early and often and get this young buck looking like shit like he did last week when the Titans were able to do the exact same thing. That last game, there was absolutely no reason for the Titans to have lost. The only reason that it happened is because of bonehead plays, Will Levis.
The Will Levis effect.
And what's the word I'm looking for here? Special teams. Blocking a punt. This team is going to be good on defense. It is going to be a challenge for the Texans' offensive line and for the secondary. Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, and Tyreek Stevenson are a pretty solid 1-2-3 at cornerback. Maybe not the best in the league by any means, but Jalen Johnson is a pretty solid one. Tyreek and Kyler Gordon are pretty young in their own right and pretty solid. Kevin Byard is actually their starting safety at the moment at 32 years old and still playing really solid football. I'm sure that last week felt pretty good to get some revenge on the old team. But I think CJ Stroud and the Texans offense with Joe Mixon have a phenomenal day. I think Joe Mixon is able to not necessarily get the exact same level of production, but he's able to get another 100 yards on the ground. The Titans were able to get 140 between Pollard, Spears, and Will Levis. So there's room to run against this Bears team. They did not allow much through the air. Well, Levis obviously had that stupid interception. He had the touchdown pass to Chigakonkwo, but he only had like 155 yards passing. Now, a lot of that can be attributed to the fact that Will Levis is Will Levis. Not discounting that. Definitely got to be in a factor here. But some of that's got to be credit given to the Bears secondary. Some of that's got to be credit to the pass rush getting in the way, causing problems. So I think the Texans are just going to try to play a safe ball control game where you make as few mistakes as humanly possible and don't give the Bears an inch to try to squeak their way back into it. If Joe Mixon can keep that 5 yards of carry or 4 yards of carry up, I think we get this dub. So 24-7 is my prediction. Gentlemen, what is your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't really see a scenario where the Bears win this game. I really don't. I think there's way too much going on the Texans offense. I think they're too good on defense for the Bears to get anything going, on the ground or in the air. I'm going to be generous and give the Bears some points. What was the over under on the game?
I'm pretty sure it was 44.5.
Okay.
I didn't write that one down because I did it earlier. 45.5. Texans are favored by 6.5.
Okay. I might go a little bit under, and that's only because the Bears don't score hardly anything. I'm going to go Texans 35. Bears 10.
Okay. Isaiah?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I also I guess I'll start with that. I also don't think there's really any way that the Bears win this game, unless the Texans just have like an absolute failure or fall apart. I can see this being like a. This could be their Panthers game. This could be a trap game. No, I mean I think it's going to be like 38. Honestly, like 38-9. I don't think there's a touchdown scored by the Bears in this game. They're just so bad. Like, Caleb Williams is terrible, and he could come out and have a great game, but I doubt it.
38-9. What a fun score that is.
I just think the Texans are going to lay it on thick.
Yeah.
Like their previous quarterback. I think they're gonna.
I knew there was another one layered in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really pull the jizz over their. Wool over their eyes.
It just depends. Like, I really think that this Bears team has that
dog in them.
They got the little bit of the dog in them, and this is probably the best that their defense has ever looked under Eberflus. So I mean, I view this as it's going to be a challenge. I think we'll be able to overcome it, but I think the Bears team is a little better than I thought they were.
I think they're getting Eberflus,
and that's while they don't have an offense. Like this to me is like playing the Bears that year. They had like Rex Grossman, and they went to the Super Bowl. It was like they weren't like they had the Arizona Cardinals up on them like 24-0 with 10 minutes left in the fourth, and then end up winning that game just purely on defense. Devin Hester.
Mm.
That was a Monday night game. The shit was crazy. Oh, man. Look, I'm glad we can all agree that the Titans are going to lose. I think that brings us together a little
badly.
Even the Titans fan think the Titans are going to lose, so it's nice.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not a favorable matchup. But do we have any final comments for this episode of this AFC South show?
Yeah. Go over to Unstabled and subscribe.
They need it.
We need the boost, man.
Colts fans, Unstabled away.
Please.
Go, Isaiah, plug your boys.
I already have to plug in. You ain't got to worry about it. Yes. Go Jags. Go third and teal. Go Trevor Lawrence. Go Trevor, our Trevor. Eric is cool too. He's good at bowling.
Thank you, Kamala. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't even doing that yet. That's a whole different level.
Go ahead and check out.
Really nasally first.
I'm a person.
We like to talk football, and football is where you have a ball. It's not shaped like a foot. I don't know.
That's honestly not that bad.
I tried.
I could see her saying it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and check out That Real Texas Team podcast. We're at 110 subscribers at the moment. Like I said, that number increase. Hit the notification bell on this one. Trying to get to 500, folks. We're at 484 here. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. 15 like goal on this episode. Notification bells. Be good people.